What is going on, everybody? I am the original gamer, StevieStrow, and we are back for yet another exciting video game showcase for the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, also known as the Coco. So grab your joysticks and let's get gaming, people. What are we looking at here today, boys and girls? Well, we are looking at Sailor Man from Tom Mix Software. This game was released in 1984. It was programmed by Chris Latham, who was also the programmer of Donkey King. Donkey King was, at the time, the single best home port or clone of Donkey Kong in existence. Technically, it was a clone. It wasn't a port. It was an unsanctioned, unlicensed version, just like this is. This is a clone. But this is a clone that is identical to the arcade in every way, as far as what the characters look like, what the levels look like, how the game plays. It's being produced on a computer that has no video game hardware. You know, arcade machines have got special graphics chips that allow for hardware-assisted foreground and background scrollings, hardware-assisted sprites, which are your actual characters on the screen. A real game system would use a hardware-based sprite, and that, like Popeye is a sprite. And a real sprite is done with the assistance of hardware that makes everything work much better. Color computer had none of those things, so everything was done in software. So the graphics had to be drawn in software, the sound had to be generated in software. There was no sound hardware, there was no synthesizer. So there was one CPU in this computer that had to do everything. And so the people who programmed for this thing really knew what they were doing and really just worked, I almost want to say magic, to get this machine to do amazing things. And even as a kid, I knew most of what I just said to you. If you don't know what I just said, it doesn't matter. But I knew, as a kid, I knew my computer was not a Commodore or an Amiga, and it didn't have some of the fancy technology those systems had, but I also knew that my computer could produce games sometimes even better than those fancy systems could, because we had really clever, dedicated people making just AAA titles for the system. So I just finished round 1, and I've been playing this game a few times and doing very poorly, so I actually had to dumb down the difficulty. I even beefed up my life. So there's a customization screen where you can change the difficulty level and add more lives. I was doing so badly that I needed to dumb it down, because I want to show you all 3 levels on the game. So the first level was the hearts level. You have to catch all of Olive Oil's hearts. Second level is kind of the musical notes level, where she's throwing down music notes. Hey guys, it's the original gamer StevieStrow here, and I want to talk to you about the Coco Crew podcast, hosted by John Linville and Neil Blanchard. It is a delicious journey into retro computing, featuring the Tandy color computer. So if you are into vintage computing, retro computing, old school gaming, and especially if you're a Coco nut who's into the color computer, you gotta check out the Coco Crew podcast at cococrew.org, also available on iTunes and Stitcher. And tell them the original gamer StevieStrow sent you. And there's an interesting little mechanic here, because there's a seesaw, and you can bounce on this seesaw to get back up. And you can actually, if you time it just right, you can get all the way up to where Sweet Pea is, the little baby. And so all the characters from Popeye are here, right? So Olive Oil, your love interest, is here. Popeye is here. He's the hero. Bluto is here. Bluto's the bad guy. You've got some of the side characters. You've got Wimpy there eating on his hamburger. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, right? So you've got Sweet Pea, the little baby there, and so you got to get those notes. And you got Bluto, the bad guy. There's also the sea hags that will throw bottles on you. Those sea hags were really giving me a hard time. When I first started the game, it was on difficulty 4, and on difficulty 4, I'm getting jammed on both sides by sea hags, and it was nearly impossible to play. And so, stinking Bluto, you need to get out of my way, bro. He was a little bit of a dullard, and so you could kind of sort of avoid him, but what he lacked in smarts, he made up for in brute strength. You could not touch Bluto or Brutus or whatever his name is at all. You cannot touch him. He will destroy you. However, you do have a power pill in the fact that you have a can of spinach. So once per life, you can use this power pill, or at least once per board anyways. You can use that can of spinach, that power pill, and punch him out. For a brief period of time, Popeye's face will turn red, and he's got a superpower, and he can punch out Brutus. And so I've just finished round 2, which is to catch all the musical notes from Olive Oil, and she's all happy. And now round 3 is kind of the sailing ship, and this one's pretty cool because it's got a little elevator that moves back and forth. And so she's spelling out the word help, and you have to catch the letters help.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
And as you're doing that, what you're doing is you're building a ladder to the top to get to Olive Oil. So I guess at this point now, Brutus has completely kidnapped her and got her to a point where you are trying to rescue her. And so I'll show you what the can of spinach looks like. So here's my power pill. Is he going to go up the stairs? He is not. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to get him. So when this happens, you've got temporary speed boost, right? So when you have your spinach, you've got super strength and super speed. And so Popeye's face is red. Okay, now it has worn off. So my super strength is worn off. And the object of this game here, now because I lowered the difficulty probably too much now, I don't see some of the enemies. So I haven't seen a sea hag a single time, and I think there were even vultures that came out here. I was having such a hard time on the default level 4 that I dumbed it down. I think I dumbed it down too much. So at the sake of not seeing some of the other challenges to the game, I'm at least able to show you all the levels, which I could not get past level 2 before when I played this first 3 times actually. So here's my help. Let's get the help level. And after you've used that power pill one time, you are completely on your own. You have no more ways to avoid this guy but just to run and duck and cover and hope he doesn't reach down to get you. Depending on how long you played the game gets harder with time. And so Brutus does get more aggressive. He will reach down. He will actually jump down. If he's above you, he will jump down to the level you're on. And when he does that pretty quickly. So he will jump down. He will sometimes jump up and swat at you if you're above him. Oh, I didn't realize that would actually let me switch screens. Oh, neat. Look at that. That's actually kind of cool. All right, so the help here is freaking out. Okay, you go that way, Brutus. Don't go down. Now you are a little tiny bit faster than him. Okay, and I did it. I got all of the letters, and I made it to the top, and that was the 3rd round. So now that I have shown you what all 3 screens look like, now's probably a good time to go back and change the difficulty and show you some of the other enemies in the game. So
at GSoft, we make games for the TRS-80 color computer, TRS-80 MC10, and Dragon computers. Our basic games cover the range of genres from arcade, to text adventures, to simulations, to 3D dungeon crawls. This is our latest puzzle game from Japan, Fruit Panic. So come on and drop by our website and download our latest games.
So hold on one second. I'm going to change the difficulty back.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This year, I needed to give a real family pleaser.
Honey, please, help me with this budget.
How about a new game, Dad? Please?
And I found it. Radio Shack's Color Computer 2. On sale for just $88. It entertains, educates, manages, it's expandable, and affordable. Now that really pleases me.
The Color Computer 2. Sale price for Christmas. Only at Radio Shack.
Okay, I've changed the difficulty back to level 4, which was the default difficulty in the game. What I was finding on level 4 was that these sea hags were just like double teaming me left and right, and it was getting to be dang near impossible. But I did want to show you some of the other enemies on the screen. I still have given myself more lives, so hopefully the addition of a few more lives will get me through to show you some of these extra creatures in the game, which are kind of cool. So the sea hag is definitely one of them. Sea hag was also one of the characters in the Popeye cartoon series. Now, also, I don't know if this is true, but I believe somebody had put a comment on one of my videos that I did on the original Donkey Kong for the arcade. And in their comment, they had mentioned that Nintendo had been wanting to do a Popeye game for a very long time. And when they made Donkey Kong, the reason why they made Donkey Kong with the characters they did was that they weren't able to secure the license to do a fully authorized Popeye game, so they just made up characters. So in that case here, I guess Donkey Kong is like Bluto or Brutus, Mario or Jumpman is Popeye, and then your girlfriend Pauline is Olive Oil. And that kind of makes sense if it's true. You never know. Now, obviously, Nintendo was able to ultimately get the license for this from King Features to make an officially licensed Popeye game. And unlike Donkey Kong, which enjoyed 3 sequels in the arcade and multiple franchises on the home consoles, Popeye was a one-shot. Oh wow! So yeah, the Sea Hag does not want you chilling out there. She's just all over the place, and this is why I was having such a hard time the first few times I played this video. And I mean, they're just eating up my lives. And so what I was hoping to see was when I got to the boat round, which I'm not sure I'm going to make it to, is what were some additional enemies there. I seem to recall there being something like seagulls or buzzards or some type of mean, nasty bird. And if it wasn't them, at least there was probably still sea hags, because I do recall seeing on the side of the boat like some clouds, and those clouds would have been the perches where the sea hags would have stood to throw bottles at you. And that's basically what they do. They're throwing bottles, right? In this case here, they're double teaming me, and this was happening. This rapid fire double team. The sea hags were getting me from both directions, and it was impossible, just impossible to take care of all of them. Let me see if I can. Oh, stinking bottle. Stinking bottle. Am I dead? Nope. And unfortunately, I don't remember what the background music would have been for this. I know there was background music in the arcade. That would have been just pushing the envelope way too far to squeeze music in with everything else that was going on here. All of the sprite emulation that was taking place, and you know, all the animation and logic and the characters and the whole game mentality. There's a lot going on that CPU. There was only one CPU that had to do everything, and so to add background music to the mix would have been probably too much for this poor Coco to handle. But I'm pretty sure in the arcade there was background music, much like there was to Donkey Kong. So I'll try to find that, and maybe in post I will edit in some of the background music like I did for my Marble Madness video, where I edited in the actual arcade music.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Oh, I remember that Christmas. Dad gave me my first shortwave radio from Radio Shack. What memories. This Christmas, we got our son's Color Computer 3 from Radio Shack. It hooks right up to our TV and was on sale for less than $130. The Color Computer 3 makes learning fun. Jimmy even lets me use it for word process when he isn't playing computer games. Lucky I still got my shortwave.
Save $70 on the sale-priced Color Computer 3, only at Radio Shack.
For authenticity and nostalgia's sake, yeah. So there's the Sea Hag, right? So that's probably similar to what happened on the boat stage. Is that the stinking Sea Hag is just throwing bottles at you, just chucking glass like it's nobody's business. And here I'm being double teamed by the Sea Hag, you heifer. So let's see what I can do here. Oh, stupid Bluto. He's not smart. He's not the smartest tool in the shed, though. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. But he gets really happy when I get killed. He just jumps up. He just jumps for joy when I die. That Bluto. I don't think I've caught any of the notes yet. There was a cool feature here where you could bounce on the seesaw, and if you made it all the way to the top where Sweet Pea was, you got like a little bit of extra, two, 3 extra points for doing that. I think it was like 100 points or something. But if you made it all the way up there and you grabbed those handles, you got a few more points. And so as you are catching the notes, they are lighting up there. You can see the musical notes up there. Oh, stupid sea hag. Sea hag, I hate you. Dang it, I thought I got her. I think it was catching the note timed out the game, where I thought I'd also punch the bottle. That's the one downside, is when you don't have background music and it makes that multi-voice music, it does pause the entire game for just a second. Sea hag. And right now he's not as motivated as he gets in later rounds, where he actually reaches up and reaches down. He gets a lot more aggressive. That stinking Bluto. Give me that note. I want to see if I can make it to the ship and see what the extra bad guys are on the ship. Oh, Bluto, I was really thinking that was probably not the smartest thing to do there. Oh, criminies. This for crafts and giggles. I'm just going to take him off my frickin' back, man. Get off my back, Blutus. Brutus, Bluto, whatever the heck your name is. We got a couple more notes to get. See if we can make it to the boat one more time. These stinking bottles don't get me. Yeah, see that double teaming crap, man. It's not fair. Way not fair. Wah, I'm crying about it. Wah. I got 3 more notes to get. I've got no more lives to live. Technically, I think I can just stand right here. Now, in later rounds of the game, he'll get mad and he'll reach up. So, you can't necessarily think of this. And the game has a way of basically punishing you for being lazy and trying to stand in one spot. So, sea hags will come out. Okay. Alright, we're going down. We are going down. Please don't let Bruto get me. Okay, so let's see what the boat looks like with the higher difficulty level. I want to see if my memory is flawed in thinking that there were some type of birds in here. I see the clouds on the side here, like these little cloud pedestals.
Some people have big plans after school. You know what Elliot's going to do? Jeff, too. Elliot's at work on a book report using Scripted on Radio Shack's Color Computer 3. It hooks up to his TV. And Jeff's at his Radio Shack Color Computer 3 playing the newest football game. But wait, what's Elliot doing playing new Super Pitfall? And Jeff's having a blast with a new math tutor. You never know what you might try with more than 100 programs for fun and learning. Radio Shack's Color Computer 3 comes with everything you see here. Other items each sold separately. Only at Radio Shack.
I'm pretty sure that that's where witches are going to stand. Yeah, so there's witches everywhere. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, here I am. Yeah, so there are vultures. Or whatever the heck they are. Now, they just take one punch to go out. But yeah, that does make the game more difficult when you have to deal with a lot more things, right? And so, yeah, and that kind of makes sense, right? When you're at sea, there's going to be some type of seabird to deal with. Oh, Blutus. This one's flashing. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Oh, Blutus got me. All right. So, I did at least, by having to, unfortunately, I had to give myself more lives in order to get this far, but I was at least able to show you all 3 levels and what some of the extra enemies look like. And so this is a really fun game. This was an impressive game in 1984. Sailor Man, clone of Nintendo's Popeye by Tom Mix Software, programmed by Chris Latham, author of Donkey King. I hope you enjoyed this preview. I have been the Original Gamer. I hope you had as much fun watching this video as I had making it for you. And if you did, then do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. If you've got something you'd like to say, throw out a comment and let me hear it. I'd really appreciate it if you could share this video and my channel with your friends. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and long live the Coco.